Today we will be knitting copper to make a lamp. This video is sponsored by FrameBridge, which is a great framing service that we use to frame digital images or even physical artwork. Stay tuned to the end of this video to learn more about it. To create the base of this light, I used Carvey by Inventables to carve out the shape. This is one of my first times using a CNC machine, and I have to say, this one's pretty easy to use. It's pretty straightforward, and you definitely don't need a design background to use this machine. After letting the machine carve out the shape, you come out with something like this. I'll leave the link to this file in the description box so you can get this exact carve. Here I am using my kiwi knife to clean up some of the tabs that were left over from holding down the material. I sanded my pieces on the floor because I wanted a really flat surface. This ensures that each block is relatively flat. I took a 1/4 inch dowel and roughly measured and cut it to fit inside the cavity. The string lights that I used were perfect for this project because they had the perfect amount of flexibility, but feel free to use any type of string light. The stitch that I used was a half double crochet. I promise you it's not as complicated as it looks. I will slow down the video to do a little demonstration of how to do this stitch. Okay, so you first take your hook, loop it over the loose string, insert the hook into the next loop, and then you want to grab onto the loose string again and pull it over the first loop. This may be a little tricky to get the first time, but just take your time, you'll get it eventually. Okay, now back to the tutorial. So now you have 3 loops. Loop your hook over the loose string again and pull through all 3 loops. And that's basically it. Now, I'm not a master at crocheting, so I'll be sure to leave a better tutorial in the description box if you didn't understand my demonstration. I threaded my 1/4 inch dowel into the light and put it into the cavity. Make sure the wire is sitting in the longer cavity. As I was attaching these pieces together, I realized that you can actually turn the string lights vertically to create a longer light. I first pre-drilled my holes carefully into the dowels before driving screws all the way. I found that for this step, you can't be too heavy-handed because the dowels are pretty fragile to begin with. Nevertheless, it is still very important to pre-drill because as you can see, there was definitely some splitting when I tried to drive the screw in without pre-drilling. Once I had the light fixture in place, I glued the pieces together and clamped them in place. Once the individual pieces dried, I glued in the middle block to finish off the structure. I used my orbital sander to sand down the finished product, but you can just hand sand if you don't have one. I applied a couple coats of wax to give it a nice finish. This project started out as an experiment, so I highly encourage you guys to experiment with these string lights and see what you can come up with. For more detailed instructions, check out our website. And if you're interested in seeing what I'm working on next, feel free to follow me on Instagram. Now let's talk a little bit about the sponsor for this video. FrameBridge is a simple way to custom frame anything ranging from a physical product to a digital image. Before making your final purchase, you can actually preview your artwork or item on their website and try out different frame styles. If you can't decide, you can get a recommendation from their designers. FrameBridge makes the entire process from shipping your item to finalizing your order very simple. They cover all of the prepaid packaging and shipping. If a physical item or an image needs to be shipped, FrameBridge will send you a mailing tube or box, and all you need to do is pay one fee and everything is set. We sent FrameBridge a digital image to frame. We were able to select a nice modern frame from their website, and a couple days later, we got a nicely framed image. If you are interested in getting anything framed, for a limited time, use our promo code HOMEMADEMODERN15 in the description box to get 15% off of your first purchase. Check out some of our other lighting videos, and please subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, thanks for watching.